are these local-ass bitches?
On today's show, the bitches welcome special guest and high school friend, Joanne Haralampopoulos. Listen in on this hilarious reunion as Doc Joanne fits right in, discussing everything from Nora's defective typewriter scare to the Greek versus Roman statue debate. She even gives Lisa a homework assignment to find out what prevents her from going south of the border on the ladies. Manny makes us ponder alternative fact sources with an article discussing conditioned biases, and Nora shares her current favorite online dating messages showcasing the wordsmiths of the Chicago dating scene. Lisa discusses Rosa's whiff of mountain wind, and the gang somehow manages to tie it up nicely with a story about Bieber getting busted in the face. Without further ado,
I'm Lisa.
I'm Manny.
I'm Rosa.
I'm Nora.
Welcome to the lab.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the lab.
Hello.
Welcome back. It's been a long time, guys.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've gotten together to record, but we have decided that we're going to change some things up, and we're going to introduce like a couple of different things. I am going to be having a story time now for each episode.
I mean, don't be surprised. She's going to be story all
That's
the
true.
time.
That's true.
We decided to formalize it.
Yeah,
Yes.
formalize it. She's going to have her own spotlight, the Lisa spotlight.
Yes.
And then since I'm the one who's always online talking to all these crazy people, I'm going to have a message of the week. So I can't wait to share that because they're always really entertaining.
Yeah, that is just, they're too good to not share.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have just some random stuff that I see on the internet, and I'm just going to talk shit about it.
Again, don't be surprised. It's but we're formalizing it.
Exactly. It's going to be more structured.
So we'll see. I mean, we've lied to you guys before. We told you we're
Yeah.
going to do this every month.
We're going to be super
didn't do
consistent.
it.
Yeah.
And we fucked up.
Mhm.
But, you know, you guys, whoever listens to us, we appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got a lot of listens, and it's something that if you want to listen, you'll seek us out. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, exactly.
We're kind of like a surprise, the cherry on the sundae, you know?
And then I'm going to be doing Manny's Insight Corner.
Yeah, see?
So it's a corner where insights live.
Cling, cling. Manny's very cling, cling, cling.
Yes.
And
Oh,
so,
cling, 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 which is another Dictionary word.
That's right, but
Cling,
I
cling, cling, cling,
have to
cling.
figure out
How do we explain that?
describe that?
So cling, cling,
If
cling,
you're
cling,
doing a hand
cling.
motion, you can't see it, of course.
So think of like the Hare Krishnas with the
Yes.
the gypsy like symbols on your fingers.
Yes.
And that's the clunk, 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 clank. So just think of like new agey.
That's new agey.
Kind
Yeah.
of very, you know.
So that's clunk, 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 clunk.
Clunk,
Yeah,
clunk, clunk,
whenever
clunk,
we
clunk,
say
clunk.
that.
Things that are like spiritual nature, metaphysical,
Yes.
clunk, 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 clunk.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's our pleasure. We're going to actually have regular guests on the show. And we're really super excited about that because I think it just brings another element.
Yes.
And we're going to have so much more fun. And this time, our very special guest is our very good friend, Joanne Haralampopoulos.
Yay!
Thank you for being on the show. Joanne is an old friend. We've known each other since high school. She's the funniest person I've ever met in my whole entire life.
That
She
is
is
saying
funny.
a lot.
I mean, you think we're funny, but let's see.
Clank, clank, clank all over the place.
And Joanne has just been such a good friend, and we loved her ever since the moment we met her. She's kind of been in our family ever since.
And she knew us during the band days.
Oh, yeah. During the band
During 28th day.
Yeah. And it's been like 10 years since we've actually seen her, and so it's just been a big honor to have her in my home and to actually see that awesome smile again. And we're just going to have a laugh and a good time. She is our resident Greek.
Yeah. She's a Greek.
Totally Greek.
She's
If
Greek?
you couldn't tell by her last name, I just said it, Haralampopoulos, and it's like 82 characters long, I'm sure. Do you speak Greek?
Ne, milawalnika.
Ah, see? I don't know what the
I don't know what the fuck she said, but I'm pretty sure.
That's all
right,
gibberish.
yeah.
I'm just giving you shit. That's all that is. Yeah, I
Oh, yeah. You were like,
do.
speak Greek. That's awesome.
This is the fake Greek corner over here.
One of the things I had a coworker at work, and she's awesome. Her name is Terry. Hi, Terry.
Love Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, Terry. She's hilarious. She said she had a Greek friend growing up, and you have to verify this for me. She had a Greek friend growing up and like.
That's bullshit. She never had a Greek fucking friend. We know everyone named Terry. And Terry never had a Greek fucking friend in her goddamn life. She's a lying ass bitch.
I know.
She said that like when her friend got her period, her mom totally slapped her across the face. What is that?
It's a warning shot across the bow. Have you not seen Carrie? Come on. From Sissy Spacek?
Yeah.
Okay, where the crazy ass mom is like, now the boys will be coming. They smell the smell of whatever, womanhood or some bullshit.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
not seen this movie?
Yeah, she was
the
nuts.
Greek, yes, she's crazy. The Greek crazy moms are now like, oh, you're now of child rearing age. Don't get any fucking idea.
Wow.
See, because that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I wonder if that has something to do with it. Because they're always...
But she said like she was there. She came over with her friend.
Did she decked her?
And her mom was like, and she was like,
That's awesome.
I really want to talk to you, Mom, the next time I get knocked up so you can drive me to Planned Parenthood. You know, I'm sure that's how they fostered that relationship.
It's like a preemptive strike.
Yeah, right.
Like
That's
before anything even ever happens already.
Literally.
is it like that stung? But if you come to me with the real bullshit, it's really gonna hurt, baby.
Yeah. Don't come to me with, baby in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, my friends,
I totally
one of my friends,
Yeah, I
when
believe
she
it
got
too.
her period, now she's Italian American. When she got her period, her dad came home with flowers.
And
And
it's a big deal.
And he's like, congratulations.
Yeah,
And she was like so confused at
Yeah.
like what was going. And then the whole family came over and they even had a party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
they bought her a
grandfather?
cake.
Yeah.
And then one of the cousins came and he didn't know what was going on. He's like, "What's the cake for?"
Oh.
He's like, and everybody was kind
It's
of like,
red velvet cake.
you know.
My grandfather gave me money, and my grandmother gave me a set of towels. Towels.
Well, she's Italian. I mean,
It fell off a truck. I don't know. They were experts.
A set of towels, and I'm like, well, how old was I? I was 9. I think it was like 9 or a set of towels.
You
and
got
then,
your period at 9
Yeah, I was
years
10.
old?
I think I was 10.
We're all overachievers.
Yeah. But listen,
So-
so a set of towels, and then my grandmother showed me a set of china that is the size of china.
China.
Yeah.
Well, I guess for the house. Like you're a woman now. You're gonna
Isn't it insane?
That's fucked
Yeah.
up. One of my coworkers who's Indian,
Or them.
so like from India, obviously, they had this whole party for his niece who had her period.
It's
And I'm like,
I mean, it's nice if it's a celebratory
It's
thing,
celebratory.
but it's
but
like
I'm
really
like,
embarrassing.
but for the girl, I'm like, get the fuck out of my face.
I know,
I
that's
remember my first
embarrassing.
day. I got it at school. I was like in 4th grade.
Yeah.
I was like Miss Lofton.
Oh my
And
god.
totally walked home, and like my grandma was like, "Oh, she's a woman."
Yeah, they're so
And-
happy.
Yeah, and I was doubled over in pain. I was
Right.
like, "What is this? Ow!" And I'm like laying in a fetal position, and she's like calling her sister.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh no, they got a baby."
Yeah, you have to like notify everybody.
I was like, "Get the fuck out!" And then my mom comes home. She's like, "He." So I heard the news, and I was like, "Get off."
But you said it with your vagina.
That's what you learn how to speak with your vagina. Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't get slapped.
Oh, I can totally see that happening in a Greek house.
I could see. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
I wouldn't.
Oh yes. Just in case you have any thoughts.
Did you get slapped?
Oh yeah, but not for my period.
Not for
Oh,
that.
no.
I mean, in general,
Yeah,
because
in
it was a Thursday. In general, yes. Let me just say.
Yeah, I remember like them cooking pasta with the wooden spoon, and then
You always
you
get
did
hit with the
something,
wooden
they'd
spoon.
spank you in the butt, and then go back to cooking the
Uh-huh.
pasta.
They would like wipe it.
Oh, one of my friend's
Wipe
moms
it
was
back.
like an assassin with her slipper.
The
Like she
slipper.
could
My aunt.
throw
was
the
a
slipper and hit
It
you
was like
right
a-
between.
Like a ninja star.
It
It was incredible.
No, she was Greek.
Greg, really?
They're
Correct.
incredible.
Yeah.
Like they're like the ones that prefer the slipper, like my aunt. My mom didn't do the slipper.
Yeah.
It was the spoon, and my grandmother for sure the spoon. And when she really wanted to threaten, it was a broomstick.
Oh.
She never hit us with it, but she would like chase us around the house.
Oh
These
man.
people were nuts.
We used to get hit, and my cousins used to get like beat down. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we
man.
were. If you don't hit your kids,
Right.
you don't love them.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's what they were thinking.
Yeah.
And then like nowadays, kids are just like so spoiled. Like
Oh,
everything. Like
yeah.
everything. My coworker just told me a story. I almost doubled over. He said he took his son, who was like 13 at the time, went to McDonald's.
Okay.
And they were right about to go to Europe that day. They went for breakfast because they were all packed already.
Right.
You know? And like his son didn't want to eat. He's like, you're gonna sit here and you're gonna eat.
Right.
And I guess they had like, they had words. And the son's like, I'm gonna call the police on you. He's like,
No.
yeah, whatever. Kid went in the bathroom. All of a sudden, 2 kids
No.
come in the fucking McDonald's. And
And what happened?
Was
Like,
he saying
a
it
big-
was child abuse because he wanted him to eat a sausage biscuit from McDonald's?
Yeah, like,
because
what is
that's
that?
somewhat abusive, I would say too.
He overheard the cops like going to the counter and saying like, yeah, we heard there's a little bit of a scuffle between a son and
Oh
a
my
father,
goodness.
and the person was
my
like,
God.
"No, we don't see anything here or whatever." And he heard that, and he's like, I overheard. I think you might be talking about me or whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, well, where's your son?" They found his son in the bathroom, and his son, he's making me eat my sandwich.
Nuh-uh.
And the kid,
what?
yeah, and the kid was like,
The kid.
well, you gotta do, like, you live
That
in
is
this room,
so
and you gotta,
stupid.
He's like, you gotta eat yours, and this guy's like, oh my God, we're going to Europe. This
Do
kid's
you
gonna get
know
arrested.
that my
Oh
mother
my God.
would have fucking killed
Yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
No, like, I mean, I would have almost literally died
Right.
if
No.
that happened to me. Like, oh, you want to call the cops? You can't with 2 broken arms.
Right.
I mean, that would have been grounds for really near death. I'm not kidding.
Right.
Do you think people are like mistaking like not hitting kids for like not giving boundaries?
Well, yeah,
like,
I'm not a proponent
you can still give
for hitting
boundaries
children.
and not hit kids, you know.
I'm telling my son right now, I'm not a proponent of hitting children.
Right, exactly. But this is how we grew
This is how we
up.
grew up.
that's
So it's like the
what
first
happened.
generation.
Yeah,
of
you need,
course,
you
yeah.
need rules.
But I think you can,
boundaries.
yeah. I mean, it's
some bitches need to be hit.
This
The
is
ones
why
who-
Rosa does not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what Rosa is not a spare the rod like type
Spoil-
of, yeah,
spoil the
yeah,
child.
Yeah.
No.
You know, I would say as a parent, I mean, you're the only other parent here
Yeah.
in the room,
Yeah.
Nora. As a parent, it's very easy
Yeah.
in the long run
Sure.
to be very consistent. It's easy. If you're not consistent, it's very difficult,
Yeah,
right?
so it's
So
confusing.
because
Like
it's
from the
like
beginning.
it's like a slot machine, right? You keep pulling
Right.
that arm in the slot machine, and you don't know what's going to happen. That's what the
Right,
kid thinks.
right.
Oh, I'm going to test this, and it's going to,
Yeah, because that's
I
what you
might
do, they
get this
test.
or I might get that. If
Yeah.
you're consistent every time, like it's
Yeah.
easy.
Every-
No
yeah,
is
there's
no.
Usually a way to like you don't hit them at all.
Right, of
Or,
course.
like,
For sure.
For
You just have to
sure.
give
Consistency.
set
It's
boundaries.
very, very hard.
It's the hardest job in the world.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's so funny
Oh,
because
yeah.
Without a doubt.
I just had this conversation with my kids because when they're with me and we're having a good time, or we're having a conversation or something, they'll say something that their dad says and kind of like make fun of it, and like we'll laugh about it because they do really good impressions. My kids are comedians. I don't know where the fuck they got this shit.
Yeah, right. I'm stunned.
And then all of a sudden I turned the tables and I said, "So wait a minute,
Yeah.
you're doing a really good impersonation of your dad.
Right.
So what is it about me you tell your dad?" And they're like, "Nothing."
Yeah, right.
You're our favorite. You're our favorite. We love you.
And then they're like, "Well, you know that face you make when you're trying to be mean? It doesn't work. It's pretty funny." They're like, "It doesn't work at all." And my son, he's 9. He's like,
He's so
"It
cute.
doesn't work, Mom." I was like, "Oh, I guess I have to roughen up a little bit to be rough and tumble with you next time." And they're like, "Yeah, whatever." Because they know, I mean, they have a consequence if they do something.
Sure.
But they're good kids.
Right, yeah, totally.
But I mean, they're supposed to test you. I mean, they're children. They
That's
don't come out of
right.
the womb and
Right.
it's like, oh, I'm perfectly behaved and
Right.
everything makes sense. And,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
they're not like that. They're gonna test you.
Exactly.
That's what they're
That's
supposed
why with
to
like
do.
my nephew and stuff, like whenever my sister's trying to like discipline me, I always support whatever she's going with. I support whatever. My parents are like the opposite.
yeah.
Oh,
They're like, no,
grandparents?
just let them do it.
Oh,
What's the
please.
matter?
Grandparents are not.
What's the-
No.
But I try to like
That's
whatever
wild
Rosa's
card.
doing, I just support.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, especially Greek grandparents, correct?
And
Yeah.
the Italian.
And the
Oh, I mean,
Greeks, they're
it's
both.
a, it's
He's
a
got
lost
both.
cause.
Yeah,
lost.
it's
He's
a
got
lost
both.
cause. There's no
Yeah.
way.
Oh, it's
Like
so bad.
they could murder somebody.
But that's
And
what
they're like,
grandparents should be. They should be
Exactly.
spoilers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Talk about the biggest wedding I've ever been to in my whole fucking entire life.
Oh,
My
yeah.
sister's wedding had 650 people.
Uh-huh.
Greeks and Italians.
Biggest wedding I've ever been to was 700.
Yeah, see?
Wow.
those
And that was
about-
2 Filipinos.
Wow.
And I swear the entire Philippines were there.
Yeah.
All of the
All the
people.
islands.
The Philippines
Yeah.
were there.
The rich Filipinos and their
Wow.
servants. Like everyone was
Oh
there.
my god.
Oh, wow.
650
And
is
I heard
a
like
ton.
That makes
Indian
for a
weddings
huge-
can even
makes
be up
for-
to like
Yes.
1,000.
Oh,
I
they
know.
they're huge. It's
And
a
that's
huge
and like
one.
300 are like horses. And like an elephant.
Oh my, yeah. Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
My sister wanted 100 people. That was like
Yeah,
her
that
goal.
was the total LOL of the whole thing.
That's
Like
totally
that was
LOL.
yeah.
She wanted like
Me
100.
and Rosa, I was the maid of honor for that. So I was, I was with her. Like you guys remember, we were all with her like all day. I think I had half a potato and a piece of bread. Like we didn't
You
eat.
think an Italian
Yeah.
Greek wedding?
Yeah, none of
Yeah.
we didn't eat. Like we were like, oh, we gotta get up because of this. Oh, we gotta do this. Oh, we gotta talk to so and so. Like
pictures.
it was crazy. Yeah.
That's a choice. You could have been like, yeah, I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
Massachusetts coming now. Like
no.
Yeah.
You made all Larry David about that shit.
Oh my
but-
God, I love Larry David.
who does? My wife cannot. So the thing about my wife, I love her so much. We get along so well. There's a couple of things that involves sense of humor that we are completely
It's a very personal
opposite.
thing.
Oh my God. And for the most part, we're fine.
Right.
I cannot watch Larry David or Seinfeld.
Oh my God.
I'm the same way.
In the
I'm the
house.
same way.
And she needs to be like in a different room with headphones
Like
on
she'll
or something.
cringe.
She cannot. She's
Yeah.
like, can you stop with that voice? I cannot stand. I can't stand you. I can't stand you. I mean, she cannot. She's just like, ugh, it sets her
Wow,
teeth on
that's
edge. It's the weirdest thing. I'm like, it's the funniest show. And she's like, it's really not. Like, do you want to fuck the show or not? I'm like, oh, okay.
Good point.
And
okay, point
we're
taken.
done.
You're right. DVR.
Yeah, DVR, right.
I like you thinking of like the Curb Your Enthusiasm, like little
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
I think even that, it's like, it's like the primer, like,
Exactly.
it's
Because she
coming.
knows it's coming.
Oh my God, she hates
Oh
it so
my
much.
God.
It's like the best show ever.
I
I
love
know. It's like the only thing,
Yeah.
the only problem in
I
our
would be like,
relationship.
I don't know about this. Like,
It's
you're
not gonna
perfect
work.
in every way,
Yeah.
but I need
No.
my comedy. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, you just have to do it on your own then. It's like closet comedy then. It's all by yourself.
It's Lonnie's porno closet.
Oh,
and
my
Lonnie's comedy.
Oh
Right.
man.
So tell us more about what's been going on in your life. We miss you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have a son. He's 12 years old.
Almost 12. Yeah, he's brilliant. I always say he's like,
He sounds cute.
I would
but he
not
sounds
be
horrible.
at all surprised if he either won a Nobel Peace Prize for something
Yeah.
or killed his girlfriend in my basement. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them happened in the same year.
Wow.
Yeah, I just
Brain
don't
is
know.
just like an awesome brain.
I don't know where this
I
kid's
remember
going.
when he was a toddler. He was so cute.
He's
Oh,
very
my
sweet.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that the sweetness is gonna
Yes.
point towards maybe the
So one day he's
Nobel
gonna
Prize.
wake up and be like, "Fuck off, Mom."
Bitches. He's gonna go like Glenn Danzig on it,
Mama!
Yeah, exactly.
Can I go out and kill tonight?
Yes. So no, he's wonderful.
My way.
I don't understand how time has flown so
Yeah.
fast that I have a almost 12-year-old.
I know,
son.
that's
It's
crazy.
I mean, you must feel that with kids. It's just
Yeah.
for me, it's like totally fast forward. I don't understand it. I can't comprehend it. It's really.
Well, I probably haven't seen you since I was 12.
Yeah. that's-
Like, I was
Yeah.
at least.
I think I saw
I
your
was probably like
pee-pee and there was
14.
no cues on it even.
Man.
Not that she was playing with his pee-pee when he was 12.
But he was running around naked all the time.
He still is.
Yeah. He's naked right now, listeners.
He's got a date later.
I have a very active social life. But no, I must have been like 14 last time I saw you, which was 28 Days' first show
Oh,
before I was
yeah.
the drummer.
Yeah.
And you guys had Kim as the drummer.
Yeah.
And it was on the south side.
Yeah.
In
Wow.
Pilsen.
Well, I was the drummer for 28 Days for like
For
5
28
minutes.
days.
5 minutes. It was a terrible 5
fantastic.
minutes. It was like the Auschwitz of 28th Day. It was like the worst time of 28th Day. It was the Auschwitz part. But it was the Trump administration
Yes. Oh, that's
of
that's pretty
28th
bad.
Day. When Joanne was the
Yeah,
drummer.
because we really blossomed.
Yeah, I was holding them back.
We
big
probably
time.
went places.
Yeah, like
So,
the
yeah.
Grammys were calling us.
terrible. Oh, it's really terrible, though, I have to say. So, yeah, I think that was the last time.
Wow.
So many years for Manny and then less time for the rest of the girls.
Right.
Joanne, do you have a favorite high school story that involves me in any way, shape, or form?
I have a great high school story.
Please
I wonder if I
enlighten
heard
me,
this
because
one.
I don't know if the audience knows this, but I'm totally missed a short term.
Yeah, she doesn't remember shit.
I don't remember shit.
Yeah.
Like, people ask me, I'm like, hold on, Lisa.
Yeah,
Can you tell
we
me
have to
what happened
remember
back in
the shit.
1992?
I
And then she
remember.
knows, she goes through the Rolodex of her mind, and she's like, oh yeah, I remember you had this purple shirt on. And
That's a stretch. She wore a purple shirt every day. She was like fucking Prince up in here. She was the Prince.
totally was.
Of
my
Elaine
gosh.
Tech.
Oh, look at her laptop.
You need to go in my room. It's
Everything's
like
purple.
inside of Jeannie's bottle.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I understand.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I mean, it's not. I don't. You know, I'm not like Lisa. I am not a natural born storyteller. But I do remember pretty vividly. We're sitting on the lawn. It was, let's just say, lunchtime, and by lunchtime I mean many classes that we have cut
Yes.
that day. And
Yeah.
so we were there for an extended period of time on the lawn, and something about, like, you were very distraught about something, I remember, and we finally got it out of you. I mean, you weren't so forthcoming, I would say, about your emotional life.
I'm always open to maybe.
Well, maybe not when
Back
you were
then.
15, 16.
Yeah.
And so you said, I think I'm late. Like, it was a pregnancy scare.
Oh, I remember this.
And
remember
I was
this time.
like, oh
I
my
wasn't
God.
there for this, but I remember being on the phone with you. Yeah.
And I remember being like, of course, I mean, nothing has changed. I feel like I have not changed one bit
Yeah, me
since
neither.
I was
Yeah.
5 years old.
Right.
I mean, not one bit. Not once. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're gonna go to the clinic. You're gonna get an abortion. I mean, I'm just saying all this.
Yeah.
And she's just like, well, I don't even know. I mean, my baby, my mom and this and that. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, it's already done in my. I'm like, done. Moving on.
Yeah.
Like, what are we having
And I'm
for
sitting
tomorrow's lunch?
and
We're
I'm
gonna
always-
go do this.
I'm probably sitting there like Stonewall jeans and a Skid Row.
Yes.
Wash jeans, hell yeah.
And a Skid Row shirt and fucking like freaking the fuck.
Oh, you
out.
were freaking out, and I was just like, what? This is gonna get resolved. No worries.
By the way, this is not going. Mom, my daughter's not going to hear this podcast. Because
you were a virginal.
I
You were
was-
virginal
yeah, I was
before you
like,
had her.
No, but
I remember this time.
what a
Yeah.
horrible thing.
What was it?
Because of the person.
Yes.
It was.
But who hasn't
Yes.
had some sort of scare?
Sure.
I mean, I don't think that's a judgment.
And what's funny is when
No.
you get into like your mid-20s, like later, and then somebody tells you that, your initial instinct is from when you were younger. You're like, oh yeah, I'll drive you. Don't worry. And
Yeah.
you're like, no,
Right.
I'm having a baby.
Right.
You're like, oh, it's
Yeah.
a good thing. Oh, okay.
Oh, my
Used to
niece.
happen.
One of my nieces is 21 and a half.
Yeah.
And I still tell her, if you think you're going to have a baby at 21 and a half, we're driving you to the clinic. I mean, I give a monthly donation to Planned Parenthood. They know me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like,
We're
I got
going
the
there.
car
But now it's like you can't, if somebody gets pregnant at our age, it's like, I have stainless steel appliances. It's like, I gotta have this kid.
Honey, if somebody gets pregnant at our age, you better not. That's scary. That's a Franken baby. Right there,
Stainless
okay?
steel, you better have that kid.
Yeah, I don't need that Veach egg anywhere near doing anything. These eggs are scrambling as we speak.
I'll never forget that time because I remember my mom never talked to me about sex.
Yeah.
And it was
She didn't hit you across the face when you had your period?
No,
Oh, that was a terrible
but
mother.
and that must have been around the same time because I remember like she was like, "What the fuck? You haven't opened the Kotex yet?" And like you're due or whatever. And I was like, And she's like, "Who the fuck are you doing?" And she like totally ran at me, attacked me
Wow.
physically. Yeah. So that was my sex talk.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yes, good times, and I'm not going to do that to my kid. My kid's going to have, the conversations. She's going to have the conversations about what you can do.
Protection, all that.
Learning about respect. And my daughter identifies as bi, so I just talk to her about her options and what you're supposed to feel. You're human, and it doesn't matter as long as you have respect and love, and just honesty and be safe.
Right.
If you want,
But maybe it's worth it then. You know what I mean? Maybe everything that we go through that's negative is worth it.
It is true.
If you can change that into a positive for someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you learn from it.
Yeah, if you didn't have that example with your mother, you might not have been so
maybe because
accepting and
given my personality
understanding.
too, because I'm like softer, and then maybe I was stronger on the inside, and my daughter's the opposite, and she's very soft on the inside. So maybe if I didn't have this experience and I was able to translate it into something positive for her, if I gave her that negative experience, maybe she'd have like totally dancing on a pole right now. You know? When she's 16 or 18 or whatever pole dancing ages.
Yeah. So that's one high school story that I remember clearly. The second one was, I mean, I think for whatever Nora is saying about being, you know, soft on the outside, whatever, she was a big bully. Nora was a big bully in high school. I personally was the victim of her bullying.
No!
Yes.
See, I don't know this story.
Yes. Well, I mean, I say bullying with like I would be the only one. So we hung out with all the like dirt bags. And,
Yeah, like all the
burnouts.
Burnouts.
Yeah, total waste. So I got really good grades, right? I got really good grades in high school because, you know, you don't want to go home to a Greek high school and not have good grades. You just are not that person.
Like 8.0.
Like really good grades.
Yeah.
Like GPA.
But she would make fun of me all the time. She would make fun. We would be sitting around there and she'd be like, yeah, what the fuck, Joanne? Did you like get a A- today? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just sitting here, you know, in my like third, you know, this is day 3 of this flannel. Like, what? What's the problem? And she would just be like, Joanne's GPA is like, you know, 7.8 today, 7.83. I'm sorry it went down from 7.86 yesterday.
It's called jealousy, girlfriend.
Yeah, I was like, man, Nora's nice and mean. I don't know what happens. That's so mean.
I think the only thing I remember like going to your house and like you and the other girl that kind of looked like me with the curly hair.
I remember her.
Yeah, like you were friends with her,
yeah.
And like you guys would talk about like classic rock stuff, and I didn't know anything about that because my mama told me that was cracker shit.
Let's get real lucky.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's diverse. Diverse.
That's when I was creating my own path. You know what I was rebelling at that time. I was like,
like, what would she listen to? Marvin Gaye or something like that?
Yeah, Motown.
Motown.
Yeah.
But you can't go wrong with Motown.
No, you can't.
I mean, we were probably talking about Iron Maiden and like Led Zeppelin.
But I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I remember not appreciating that music and stuff, even though now I
Cracker shit.
Cracker shit. I remember I used to.
And lo and behold, like, I've never dated a Hispanic man.
See, she's a bully. She's a racist and a bully.
I've never dated my own kind or otherwise.
My own kind.
My own kind.
I gotta put that in there. I am Boricua.
I remember I used to cut class and go hang out with you guys at your school.
Yeah, you would hear that.
You don't remember?
It was not often.
Not all the
wasn't
time,
often,
but I did.
That's like
Like, wait a minute, I was the only one not stoned. You were not there that often in high school.
No, but I did. I would come. Like, really? I would like cut.
Where did you go to high school?
I went to
Prosser.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
that
of you did?
Yeah.
No, I
No.
didn't.
He was in the suburbs.
So
So yeah.
Yeah, we moved up to the burbs like
Yeah.
when I was in grade school.
But like I would cut one school and go to another school. Like just hang out.
we're the fun kids.
Like, you guys fucking suck.
See, for me, my sister would pretend to be my mom and like call in.
Oh, that would happen all the
Which
time
was
for us
awesome.
too. Yes.
She'd be like, "This is Mrs. Capozzi.
Yeah.
My son cannot come to school today. Okay, bye."
So I had the
And they were like,
misfortune of also going to Greek school.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So we went to Greek school Wednesday
Once a week?
nights.
Yeah.
And Saturday days.
Oh,
and
man.
so my parents went to Greece one year, and I cut for 2 months. I cut Greek school for 2 months in a row.
Wow.
And they would call, and my sister, thank God, would be like, "Oh, my grandmother died." No one fucking died. My grandmother died, and they went to Greece, and they took her with. We should have told you, so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And so when I went back, I got hugs from everyone. It's like, "Oh, your grandmother, oh, how old was she?" I'm like, "Was she? She's fucking alive." Like, they're both alive. Anyway. So we used to cover for each other all the time, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or CCD, I guess you could.
Yes,
we
it's
used
catechism.
was CCD.
Yeah.
which I guess is the, I don't know,
Catholic
version.
Yeah.
God, was that wasted.
Well, you guys would like walk there and like get there when it was over.
I know sometimes that would
Remember?
happen. Yeah. We would totally be like there for the last 20 minutes. Yeah. Oh my God.
So the girls just came back from Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it
Into
was
the homeland.
amazing. Yeah.
The homeland.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the homeland. Yeah, Sicily was gorgeous. Rosa was so scared of the mountains.
Fuck that shit. Why
Yeah,
are there
she
so
has
many
that,
mountains?
but they're so beautiful. But this is the thing.
So someone cut geology class.
Yeah, but listen though, because this is what's
Plate
hilarious.
tectonics
Because
is the short
now-
answer to that.
Because now Rosa knows, and well, the first.
I don't know.
Late tectonic.
I mean, like, I don't know what else to tell you, Rosa.
The first
They
Sicilian.
gotta drive up there.
No, but
Oh,
listen.
that's a different problem.
The first
We're just
Sicilian
like-
king was Norman. And it was funny because it was like, because they descended from the Vikings and all this stuff. So we went to one of the castles that they built, and it's like at the highest
Fuck
peak.
that shit.
Yeah, and Eddie.
Eddie check.
Yes.
Did you guys have a
it's
cannoli up there? Oh my God,
yes.
the best
Up there?
cannoli.
No,
You
they're
went there?
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
You drove up
It's
there?
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's scary.
Who did you drive up with?
My,
She was so scared.
We rented a
She was
car.
like scaling the wall.
Who
She was so
drove?
scared.
My Italian friend.
Yeah, yeah. You don't drive up there yourself. I wouldn't drive up
Were
there.
you shitting bricks?
There's like no guardrail.
Oh,
I mean,
a
it's
little bit.
incredible. They're like, oh yeah, it's like a guardrail. It's like this big.
Yeah,
but
motherfuckers are not even afraid of heights or scared of that shit.
Yeah,
I
it was
like,
beautiful.
Oh my God.
But then
Tour buses carrying 100 people go up those
Yeah.
mountains, dude.
I can't.
Well,
Was it like
no, that
vertical?
particular one, the bus stops at a certain point, and then you have to take a cable car.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because
so
they do
but-
switchbacks
Yeah,
up
yeah,
till that point.
yes.
Cable car?
Cable car. But we didn't do that. We went
Italian
up with the
cable car.
Yeah.
It's like,
No,
I
but
only
the
do this in
outside-
Switzerland,
Yeah,
you know?
Like, I'm too fat for that shit. I'd be like, nope, I don't trust that cable's gonna hold my ass.
I don't
Never-
trust Italian machinery. I need German or Swiss machinery
Yes.
to deal with this.
Oh yeah, German or so. Yeah, it's true.
Unless it's shoes.
But
don't trust
yeah,
Right, right.
if it's some and cars,
Yeah.
you know. But anyway, the anything that was because then there was a lot of like Norman and Arab like
Anything
influence.
you saw
Anything was
Norman?
Norman. She was like, I'm not going because that shit's gonna be so high
was like-
because they were always like at the highest
Oh,
point.
it's a
You know, she was
a little castle on the top there. I
yeah,
was like,
it would be like in the side of the
Because you
mountain.
gotta see what's happening, the invaders.
Exactly.
You
And
gotta
she
be
was
at
like,
the highest point.
She was like, I want to see this. I don't want to. And I was like, no, you have to. Come on. You can't come here and not, So she actually did okay. Then toward the end, we would like go up a mountain. She didn't say shit. And I was like, see, I told you. Like, you're going to be used to it.
shit.
Yeah.
But now, but if I go back, I'm gonna be crazy.
Then they have, my cousins kept saying Belvedere. And like,
Oh,
we have to go
yeah.
see the beautiful
scenery.
view,
Yeah,
beautiful
the
scenery.
beautiful view.
And she was like, I don't want to see the fucking Belvedere. That is not Belvedere. Yeah. So it was
When
like,
you hear
Mr.
about
Belvedere.
it's high.
Mr.
Belvedere.
I was like, was this thing Belvedere?
And the Italians are disgusted, right? Like they're looking at her like,
Yeah.
do
they
you
were
not
like,
know your history?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They were
Oh,
like,
yeah, we're like,
oh my god, like my dad, the whole time I was like, I don't understand. Who drew this? Romans. It was the Romans. All the time. We'll be walking through the forum and I'm like, oh my god, like who made this? Romans. Ancient Romans. Not from like Pontius Pilate's times. Yes.
Now, were you just egging him on, or are you just that stupid?
No, she's like, yeah, you
I don't
she likes what he does.
You're egging him ass
Oh
on.
yeah, she loves it because they're hilarious together. And then my dad
He's going George Costanza, he's gonna die.
Yes.
It's because it's Mr. and Mrs. Costanza is what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
This is so funny.
Well, my dad then was making fun of us. My
Right.
dad, had his camera, and he was taking pictures of the important things. We took pictures of fucking everything. We were like, I think I'm turning Japanese. Like over there, like we were taking pictures of everything. And then my dad was like, when he was telling my family, then when we got back, it was like every single fucking thing that happened. It's like Julius Caesar was sent to have spaghetti over there, and it's like boom, picture. And it was like Julius Caesar should take piss in this corner, boom, picture. Like every single thing.
They wanted to
Like,
make us see the fake David.
Oh yeah, this is the fake David.
But
Yeah.
where's the fake David? That's when.
Yes, that was at the.
Oh, there's a
not the-
fake David outside of
That's
Florida.
that's
Yeah,
the
right.
one. That's,
And then you go in to see the real one in
Right.
the museum.
Exactly. So we have to go to the museum, and he's like, "What's the difference? It's a replica." Because I'm like, "No, we have to see the
No,
one."
you
that
gotta see the
Michelangelo
real one,
touched."
yeah.
Yeah. So it was like this big thing, and so we go there. My dad was like, he's sort of like, "Yeah, the David's beautiful, but it's no Moses statue. It's no Statua di Pietà." So he was like,
Word.
yeah, the
Pietà? Come on.
The statue, the Statua
The
di
Virgin
Pietà.
Mary
That's
with
the
the
Virgin Mary
Jesus
and the-
on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they hid.
And so
It's
he
not-
was like, the David is nothing. So then we're over there, we're like, bitch, it is cool. So we're like, oh my god, the David. Well, haha. And somebody was like, are you guys done? So we're like, yeah. So
we
we
went
finally
to a
like go
different
into
room.
this other room. Then we lose her. And then it was like, man, where is she now? And then he's like, I wouldn't be surprised if she went back to the damn.
Does your father know you're into butt? Because you were staring at David's ass. weren't you?
Well, I took pictures of it.
It's gigantic, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Everything is gigantic
It's
except,
so
you know,
amazing.
Except
Right.
for the.
Right.
except for the cheech.
Except for the
broccoli had pubes. What the
Well,
fuck?
back
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
I heard that back then it was actually a virtue to have a smaller penis.
Do you know-
right.
Because
So
larger
this is
penises
all
were seen as like very
vulgar.
like, vulgar and
Uh-huh.
sexual. And,
Like a caveman.
Non-intellectual. Right? Non-intellectual.
Yes, non-intellectual.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is all, these are all Greek principles. You realize
Absolutely.
that. These are stolen
Yeah.
by the Romans.
Perfected. Still perfected.
Appropriated by the Romans.
Oh, God.
Like the majority of the statues you saw are replicas of ancient Greek statues. I'm just letting you know that.
No, it's not.
Yes. Not the David. That's a Michelangelo
That's
original.
Michelangelo original.
Yeah, so if you had like an original, Michelangelo or Raphael or whatever,
Bernini.
those are originals. All the other ones when you're like, oh, this is circa
Right,
blah blah
whatever,
blah
right.
BC. Those are all
Yeah.
Roman replicas
Like
of
the
Greek
Venus
originals.
and the, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think David was so like, scusi? You gotta tell that story, man.
Oh, scusa?
What's that from?
No, it was one of my friends had gone on a date
yeah.
with an Italian guy, and like the date kind of went awry, and like there was a lot of crazy shit that happened. Like at one point, like a one-legged man was like trying to get into the bathroom, and like whatever, like she was trying to like close the door, so the guy like tried to beat up this like one-legged man.
My
But
God,
whatever.
it's like The Fugitive,
Yeah.
but it's one leg.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
So they had all this weird
I
shit
love that
happen to
movie.
them. So he happened to live upstairs from her. So, at the end of the date, they kind of got mad at each other and she went to sleep. And in the morning, he's like, oh, do you want to come up for breakfast? She was like, okay. So she goes up there and he answers the door in like a sarong and like nothing else.
But the
He's
sarong
like-
was like a kitchen towel.
It was like a
wasn't it?
kitchen
little
towel
tiny
just over the
square.
cheek, yeah. So she's like, where's breakfast? And he's like, oh, it's
I
right
got
over
your
here.
sausage right
Yeah.
here.
So he
I
starts
got
trying
your
to like,
sausage and eggs.
he tries to like make out with her, whatever. She's like, okay, I'm
Oh.
leaving. And then he gets in front of the door, and the sarong drops to the floor, and he's got like a big old boner, like the size of Texas. So he looks down at it, and then he looks at her, and he's like, "Scusa," which is like it's Italian version of
He's
like
so
"oops."
polite.
So they call him Scusa ever since
Yeah.
then.
Scusa.
They call
So
him
speaking
Scusa.
of
It's like
stories,
awkward. Yes.
Lisa has a fascinating story for us.
Yes.
This is going to be part of our regular.
This is
yeah.
Lisa's Story Corner.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is the first, So now we're going to have it like more structured because I'm telling stories all the time.
Right, I was
But-
going to say, it's like
yeah.
Lisa's
Yeah,
McLisa
yeah,
Lisa.
yeah.
That's what that is.
There we go. There's the official name. Lisa's Lisa.
Oh, this is Lisa's Story Corner, also known as Lisa McLisa Lisa.
That's it. It's coined.
Well, so I have a couple of stories from our adventure in Europe. But the one that fascinated me the most is when we went to Germany. And we were in Munich, and the second we got in, because we were there for a day, like before we came home, and Rosa got hit with this headache, and she was like, holy shit, man. She was like, what the fuck is going on? She ended up getting, it was like a migraine. And that sounded like what she had. It was a migraine. So, of course, anytime she's always like looking up, doing her research, like trying to figure out what it is. So they have like the Foehn wind. And I'm pronouncing it wrong because I think they say like Foehn or something like that, like in Germany. And apparently it could give people psychosis.
What?
The wind, because it's the
read
moisture.
what it is.
Yeah, the moisture that comes like from Europe and up through the Bavarian Alps, like causes like this dry, like warm, like type of wind that messes like with your sinuses and all
Was it
the
like
stuff.
from Africa? Like
No, from Italy. Like
from
probably
Italy.
probably
But does
from
it
the
originate
Africa.
from Africa?
Yeah,
Because I remember we used to get that in Rome, the wind from Africa.
Yes.
And it did that.
And that
Well, the Cinque Terre, right? They talk about the wind there.
Mhm.
yes, but this is
From the
for the
Alps.
Foehn wind is in the Bavarian Alps because it's so cold, and then it causes like people to like totally go pazzo. And there was
my
actually
God.
like
Like,
Rosa.
where they think,
I had a
And
headache, my
Hitler.
anxiety.
Yeah. Well,
That's
Hitler
how
was
it
one of the
happened.
stories.
So I had a headache, and then my anxiety was crazy. I was like,
right. And she's like, so if you're already unstable, so then she was reading through, and
So
one
she's
of the
like, so I
stories-
got a headache, and I wanted to kill Jewish people. Like, immediately, I wanted to kill Jewish, black, and gay people.
But listen, so he did come up Hitler that when he moved to Munich from Austria, like he lived in Munich and he had an apartment in Munich, and he kept telling one of his like advisors that like they were going to like a rally or something. I think it was an election thing. That's what it was that I read. And he kept complaining about a bad mood, and he was just like, really like just sour, just really horrible. Then when they got back to the apartment, the sister had killed herself. And but the thing is, they're like, well, you can't say like, oh, we're going to blame it on the phone when there were witnesses, there were things that didn't match with the story. She could have even gotten killed, who knows? But they did say that it was a suicide. And then Brian May from Queen even like reportedly said something when they were recording in Munich. He's like, that fucking sucked. He was like, it was very grim.
Well, Brian May is an astrophysicist.
I know he is.
Yeah.
And
he should know all this shit.
Yeah, I love him.
So
I met him once.
And
you did?
I did. That was the only time I was ever starstruck.
Oh my God! I call him Isaac Newton because
I
he
know.
looks like Isaac Newton.
Yeah, he does. He
totally
does.
Oh my God! I love.
He is like
Brian
the
May.
sweetest man. Too.
Of course he is.
And you would think, like with that type of stardom, that you know what I mean, like they're epic
right.
that band.
Yeah.
He was so sweet.
Yeah,
and he had beautiful skin too. Anyway, so like this little segment.
Cheers.
But so. Yeah, can you believe it? So then Rosa's like, fuck this shit. I'm never coming to Germany again. I'll totally go. I'll be a psycho. And I'm like, well, we have to come to Germany because the guys are dead. Yeah.
Yeah, the guys are really
I
hot
love
in
the
Germany.
Germans.
They're very sexy.
Yeah. I kept getting corrected by my cousins because they kept saying Tedeschi. You have to say Tedeschi.
Tedeschi, not Germanese. It's not a
Right,
thing. Yeah,
right,
Tedeschi.
right.
Because you know why?
Yeah.
Every language in Europe has a different name for the Germans because
Yes.
it depends on what tribe was near them.
Exactly.
So
It
the
had to do
Italians
with
call them
Deutschland.
Tedeschi.
Yes, yeah.
Spanish call them Alemania
Yeah.
or something. I don't know
Greeks
what
call
the
them
Greeks
Germania.
Yeah.
So it's whatever German tribe
So
was near them.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why there's always a different name for Germans.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I did not know that.
Yes.
But my second part of the adventures in Europe is why the fuck does everybody's constantly falling in Europe? Falling and tripping. My dad fell
I
twice.
think we discussed that with mountains.
Oh my God, no! But it's not the mountains. It's like just
the
the
cobblestones?
street. Yeah, just in general. Like even like a little curb. You're like, wow, my dad fell twice.
Oh my
and everyone
Was
was
it
like,
the alcohol? I mean, they drink
No!
that during the day.
He totally did it because of blood pressure. He has to like watch. So like no, like he was just being like walking and be like, oh look at that, and totally fall. Me though, I fell in the Freccia Rosa, and thank God that we have a shopping. The Freccia Rosa is Red Arrow basically means, and it's the speed
red light
train.
district.
Yeah, no, not the red light district. The speed train. We took that from Rome to Florence and then back.
Uh-huh.
So I think this was when we were going to Florence. So. My dad tells me, like, okay, we're in there, and then it was like, and don't worry, take your time, it's not going anywhere, this is the end of the line, so I'm like, okay, and that didn't take a long time, like, I was just putting my shit together, whatever, I just did it at the last minute, so I get up, like, to the front, and I was like, oh my God, and then the door closed, like, right in front of me, and Rosa was like, Lisa, oh my God, you're, like, stuck in there, we couldn't open the door. So I turn around and I see these people like leaving. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get to that side of the train. I was like, before they close that door, because these people were like coming out. So I'm like running, and at this point, thank God, I shopped a lot because I had my backpack. Rosa was making fun of me the whole trip in the backpack because I had like a mountain climbing backpack. Because I was like, no, because like we're gonna buy stuff and we have to have enough.
I can't tell you how many times I've said, thank God. I've shopped so much. Thank God. I mean, it saved my life on multiple occasions.
Now you understand why. All right, so on the Freccia Rosa, they have there's these huge steps, to get it's like a huge step. It's not just like a regular to go up. So I'm panicking because I'm like, holy shit, I'm gonna be going back to Rome myself. So I was like running, and I seriously was airborne for 2 seconds, and I remember
the Michael
yes.
Jordan.
And as it happened, I was like, no. I heard myself saying no, and I turned and I fell.
What happened?
As I was airborne. And I was like, oh my God. And then as I fell.
But as you were airborne, you did a 360? Is that what you're telling me?
No. I turned kind of.
Oh,
and
more LeBron.
Yeah.
I see.
So as I fell, I ended up on my back like a roly-poly.
Right.
So the backpack
I was on my back, and then there was a cheech. There was a big Italian cheech right there.
That would have been epic. No, but said backpack totally safe. And nothing happened. I didn't bump anything.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was totally like, oh my god! I seriously like had to like roll over because my backpack was so big. So thank
I'm
God.
imagining like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes. Like someone roll me over. I can't get up like this now.
Lisa in a half shell.
Oh my god! But yeah, people were
Venus
constantly
on
falling. Like and then my cousin like fell in the kitchen. Like she almost like like what? She went to go like turn around. It was like this big thing, and she like smacked.
Well, maybe because like you can't really sue anybody there. It's just like they just here we're like afraid to fall.
But everything is marble. Like they do have marble.
Yeah,
tiles.
marble. Nothing is really perfectly
Yeah,
flat.
Cobblestone.
no.
People wear like the heels on
Yes,
the cobblestone.
it's insane.
You're not used to it. Your equilibrium is not used to it.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good story.
Okay.
Well, what's our next segment, Nora?
Good, Lisa McLisa Lisa.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love this
Thank
one.
you.
Yeah, it's
That's
great.
it. Joanne just did it. We're gonna record Joanne saying that. We're gonna use it for every time.
Yes, I like it.
Yeah, you really don't have to.
No, but I like it.
Oh, well, on that note, I think Manny should share with us something more enlightening.
Oh, an enlightenment.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yes.
Well,
Now let's bring it back down.
clink, clink, clink. This is less clink, clink and more scientific.
Oh, that's cool.
I
good.
I was reading this really interesting article about there's a lot going on right now about people not believing facts and alternative facts and alternative fucks, which is actually an online profile I saw. It said alternative fucks, which I thought was
It
great.
sounds like a great porn.
Yeah.
It's in the butt. It's in the ear. It's in the left, right nostril.
And the article was saying that there's actually something evolutionary about it because when we were hunter-gatherer societies, right? So you had your group of people, right? Whatever the 30 group of people was. And whatever, there was whatever the leader was and blah, 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 blah. But in order to survive as a group, you had to kind of put your own logic aside sometimes.
Oh, okay.
And whatever the group decided was the logical thing, you had to follow that.
Gotcha.
And because it just made it easier to survive. And you didn't have the time to really sit there and analyze everything specifically.
And debate.
Da, 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 da. So it was actually ingrained into us over a long period of time. So like now in a modern era, when, we're actually exposed to so many different types of people more than ever are now clinging to what they view as their group or their kind of core group of people. So they don't necessarily analyze every little thing because obviously we don't have a lot of time to do that either.
Right.
So what we're doing is we're defaulting to whoever we see as the leadership or whatever it is.
God.
And it's kind of ingrained in us and we have to really fight against that instinct now and like actually think about things and look at things. But but I thought it was a really interesting article.
That is interesting. So they're saying like in general, like at a broad
general,
scale,
yeah.
Well, that's just like an example of human biases, right? So you're describing a confirmation bias.
That's a confirmation bias.
Yeah, which is like Facebook, right? Your Facebook feed most of the time is filled with your friends. Well, they're your friends for a reason.
Right.
You don't want to kill them because you agree with them. And so for the most part, so it's all these things, like so the Trump supporters and all of this get all this like, oh yeah, Trump's the best, and you're confirming your beliefs that are already there. Your friends are confirming your beliefs all, so
That's
it's
and anything that goes against it, you're like, oh no, those people are crazy.
yeah,
There's
it's
other people.
very red state versus blue state. You don't have a lot of purple
and it's
states.
just more than ever now, and it's
My Facebook feed isn't full of butt stuff, though.
Oh.
Sure it isn't, Nora. Sure.
I'm just saying. Maybe.
You gotta go
Good
from
observation.
Facebook to butt book.
So I know we're Facebook friends, which means it is.
Oh, busted! So
But anyways, that's my insight
Yeah.
for the
that's
podcast.
quite interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, I'll send you guys the article.
I think it's more. I think that's very like a positive. That's like a rallying cry of what we should do, which is talk to
Absolutely.
people.
Try to
who
talk to
don't
people on the other side.
agree with you and try to like.
I have one friend on Facebook
No, but
that
like to open up a
we disagree on
conversation, open up a
everything, but we
discussion.
try to private talk each other and
Yeah.
she'll send me something. She'll be like, "Well, what do you think of this?" And then I'll send her this. I'll be like, "Well, what do you think of that?" We totally disagree, but like at least we'll.
I think
See, but I think that's cool.
It's a spectrum, right? I mean, you have somebody all the way over here. Like if they're on the totally left side of the spectrum, they're never going to change their mind.
Right.
If you're totally on the right side,
yeah.
you're never going to change your mind. It's everybody else in the middle. If you don't have a conversation, you're I think
Because
you're
I hate politics, I listen to everybody. Like
problematic.
I have somebody that I know that is on the other side of the fence, and I talk to him often. And like I know he's a good person,
Right.
but he is, and he has very strong opinions, and I just find it interesting to pick his brain. And I have no dog in the race kind of deal, so I'm just kind of like, all right, well, you think your thing's for a reason, and I just think that everything out there in the world and the media is just so convoluted. If you weren't there, you didn't see it. I don't have to believe it because it may not be true.
That is true.
So,
I think that too.
I mean, a lot of the times people are like, well, this is what he said. Really?
Right.
Were you there, bitch? I don't think so.
Right.
And that's why I think you can only go by what you actually hear them say and what they actually do. That's the only thing you can go by.
Sometimes they actually
and when people are like, oh,
yeah.
people.
Trump, you see him.
But when people say like, oh, they got Trump all wrong, I'm like, no, it's what he says.
Right.
I don't like what he says and what he does. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, but I'm not.
No one's manipulating me.
I'm not sure I believe the whole like I can only believe what I either see or hear myself, because
what
like
they do.
Humans, but like human society would have gone extinct, right? I mean, we learn from generations before us, scientific theory, whatever. I mean, history. You learn from things. You obviously, history books are written with particular slants, but
right.
I don't think everything that's ever existed exists in my lifetime.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Or your lifetime, because you're the only one witnessing it.
No.
And I'm talking specifically of media.
In terms
of
media is
that's
a
what I'm talking
problem.
about.
Media is a problem. And then you have to research like what media outlets are the least biased. Whether it's right or left.
Everyone's got a fucking
Right,
agenda.
that's the problem.
Right.
So that's why, like, I take it into account, whatever it is.
Yeah, grain of
I
salt,
don't.
grain of
Yeah,
salt.
exactly. I don't like completely shut it out. But on the other hand, I know that I'm not in the situation room. I don't know what the hell's going on in there. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
because you would have fucking diarrhea
Yeah.
yourself.
Exactly. Right.
So
Like,
the situation room in her administration would have been the bathroom. Right? Like, it would be a screen. I'm on the toilet.
All right, let her rip.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
I've already done the couple of courtesy questions.
I would have for sure.
Okay, let's see that Bin Laden video one more time.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Exactly. Puking and diarrhea like the whole time. Diarrhea-ing, is that the correct verb to use?
Well, we know what you mean.
Exactly.
Yeah, everybody knows what you mean.
I think that's a conjugated.
Yeah,
I think we should conjugate the verb. No, diarrhea would be a no.
Thank you, Tito's, for making me create a new word. Speaking of diarrheaing, there's a lot of people that diarrhea at the mouth.
Yeah.
And since I'm online dating, I have a lot of people who send me interesting messages. And that's going to be my input for every time we do a podcast. I'm going to give you guys the best messages that I've received for the week, because I think humans are funny,
fascinating,
intriguing,
troubling.
Troubling, yes. I mean, the first favorite, I'm not sure if we shared that first favorite, but I'm going to share the first favorite, and I apologize if it's a duplication of what we've already said before, but this one's a good one, and then we'll go into the two new ones that I had. But the first one is Manny's personal favorite. I got
an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, this is a little bit of an oldie but a goodie, but I thought I'd resurrect it in case anyone wants to steal it. If you're online, guys, and you just meet a hottie and you're like, I gotta fucking get in this bitch's pants, send them this message. And it pretty much said, there are 8 known planets in the solar system, but only 7 after I destroy your anus. Boom! That's the message I got. Opening line.
Opening line.
Not even a hello.
Stress on the opening.
Yeah.
It opens at the close.
Yeah. And his username involved the word old style.
Oh my
God.
God.
So it had to be serious. To me, I took it as serious shit because, I love comedy. And I will laugh at anything. And most of the time, I probably would have laughed at it knowing if like a comedian said that. But I think this person was all kinds of serious with that shit.
But I appreciate that. He wants anal sex.
Yeah,
there is no confusion. Exactly.
Hey.
Are you interested in this?
I am all about people. I had this conversation with somebody where, one person said, I can't believe people open up that fast. I'm like, you know what? Sex is important to people. Right. And if they think that, if they want to put their, sexual preferences forward and don't want to waste anyone's time and say,
make sure
like
that
Rosa said in previous podcasts, like, if you like farts, you just gotta tell somebody you like farts first.
Right.
You gotta fucking put it out there because once you get to the point where you don't and then you're like, oh,
I don't want to eat like 2 tiramisus already, and then we have the fart conversation.
Exactly. Like, man, I could have had a nice dinner with somebody who about my fart shit, right?
Yeah, we should do that before this second tiramisu.
Like, serious. So, and along those lines, I think my 2 most favorite new ones were just 2 words. Just 2 words. It said, wanna bang? ?
Succinct.
Yeah, to the point. I get it, people just want
I need to fess up and say that I may or may not have texted that to my wife at some point in our 16-year career together.
Well, that wasn't the way you meant. That is not the first.
It may or may not. I can neither confirm nor deny that was the way we met. But let me just say, it has been on my phone. So I find that reminiscing. I really enjoyed that one.
And I think a good response to that one could be,
sometimes.
Want a tang? And just have like a picture of you with a tang.
In an astronaut suit?
Nah, want a tang?
Wanna be a?
Nevertheless, I deleted that.
Oh, I think you're short-sighted on this one.
I often swipe right for people I find. I'm a sucker for a good face. I don't care what your body looks like, and like you got a great smile, great eyes. I'm gonna swipe right. And so, like, a lot of the times, those pictures are so deceiving.
Yeah.
Because there are really little devils on there.
So maybe you shouldn't be a sucker for a good face. You should be a sucker for a 2-word, very clear message.
I appreciate candor. I appreciate honesty, and I tell people that.
But finesse,
constantly.
you gotta have some finesse.
Yeah.
I would like to know your name first, or you ask me my name. And the second one was also a great one. It was just 3 words.
Oh.
This one.
These people are poets.
Yeah.
Like it's a haiku up in here.
It is a haiku with that shit, and
Yeah.
it's not even a haiku because only 3 fucking words.
Wow.
But this one was just stated, and I quote, "You give head," and I say it like that because
there must have been a
There's
question.
no question mark.
Wait, I was gonna
That's
say
such an Italian. I'm doing it in an Italian accent in my head. You give head. Give head.
There was no punctuation.
Oh
so
my
I have no
God!
idea
It's
how to
cryptic.
take that.
It's totally cryptic.
Do I know you, or are you asking? I'm not sure.
It's like a period, an exclamation point, and a question mark. All work.
Exactly.
They would all work.
They
You
would
give
all
head?
work. I mean,
You give head.
I can tell.
You give head.
Exactly. I mean,
It totally works.
he's a genius.
The guy's an English
Actually,
teacher,
yeah.
number 1. You know that's an
God.
English teacher
He was
fucking
an
with you.
English teacher,
Yes, it is.
absolutely.
With no socks, who gets us to this right
Yeah. Loafers.
All right.
That's just as bad as when somebody says, sup, ?
Right?
Sup,
And that's the only thing. And I
Yeah.
usually respond,
Breakfast.
trying on my sister's prom dress. How about you?
Good one. So
Something
yeah,
like
so guys,
Was that sarcasm? You do that.
Was that a punctuation?
Maybe.
Yeah. So guys, step up your game a little bit. Like, I'm not all about just the high either. Like, there's got to be a little creativity there in between. I don't judge. Yeah, if someone approaches me nicely, I'm gonna speak to them and
Right.
find out what they're
I feel like
about.
high is at least like, hey, I'm interested. Are you? And if you're not, just don't say anything bad.
Right,
At
that's
least
true.
the high is,
like
like,
we matched
normal.
and let's go from here. High is fine, or hi, how are you, or what's going on. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
But as long as you follow it up with a question,
with the
something.
something or other.
If I say hi back,
and
okay, questions. Let's go.
punctuation helps really because the girl can get confused.
Yeah.
as
How
hell.
about hi, how are you as number 1?
Yes.
Second one, wanna bang? I mean, would it matter to you if it was the second one? That's what I'm really asking.
I'm Larry.
Oh, you want a name? Okay.
You want an introduction?
I'm trying to really understand where the wanna bang comes in. Is it the third text?
Well, isn't it understood that you want to bang? That's the whole point of this whole thing.
Yeah, there has to be some courtship.
That's one of the questions on one of the websites where it's like, are you online just to have sex? Well,
I think the operative word is just.
Well, no,
To have sex.
maybe. I mean, like, obviously the outcome is that you want to actually be intimate with somebody and you want to get to know them. And
is that, yes.
But and some people have more direct approaches than others. I appreciate that. I don't shy away from any kind of conversation. I mean, go figure.
But Nora, you realize that some people are online exclusively to get laid.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's okay, so this person was being honest.
Yeah. It just
wanna bang, period.
Doesn't want to be.
No, question mark. Question mark.
Should I be like, is your dick riddled with herp? Like, I don't know.
I think those are deep. Those are details. That's not where you start. By the way,
sores?
7 years ago, I developed herpes. And now my scrotum is filled with vesicles. And do you want to bang? No, you don't want to bury the lead. Do you want to bang? You want to do it from the beginning. And then if you want to bang, I'll tell you some more. Who's going to
you want to bang? Okay, next set of questions.
By the way, my cock might fall off because
you might be the last one.
From the inside.
You might be the last one to ride this thing. You know?
You want a ticket?
You broke it, you buy it.
You want a ticket? I mean, Joanne, if you were still dating at this point, like, how would you handle these kinds of...
That's like asking Benjamin Franklin if you were to go on Tinder. How would you? I mean, it's so far removed. I don't even have any idea what you're talking about.
Well,
I've never been on any of these things.
It's a new experience.
There's one for lesbians. I think it's a girl's name.
Right,
I don't remember what it's called.
But I mean,
Mandy or
Felicia. No, I don't know what it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what you were saying. You need a courtship. Well, how do you have a courtship on these apps?
I don't know. What brings you on? Oh, want to bang. There you go.
You really want that type of song and dance?
When it's just like all up front, it's like too much. It's too desperate.
What if the guy's desperate? I'm saying you're seeing truth. And you're saying, not so interested in truth right now.
I'm very open to people being truthful. I
want to have some sort of connection.
I want somebody to be super truthful. I want somebody to be super honest. And it's up to me whether or not it's my bag or not. Like, you be you, boo. I'm not going to judge you. Yeah. I just think it's kind of funny that,
I just feel like the poor soul who wrote Wanna Bang is included in the solar system person. The one with
the Uranus.
And I don't think they go together. I think Wanna Bang is totally more evolved than the solar system guy. So you're saying them as if they're in the same category, and I'm just saying, I don't think they are in the same category.
Like, you don't know me, bitch. What if I'm covered in sores from head to toe? You don't know that.
You're gonna know after a date in a restaurant? Oh, this is a Cheesecake Factory date. Okay, let me look under there. You're not gonna know what's down there.
Okay,
I'm a doctor. I don't know what's in there until you gotta get in there. Yeah. And sometimes I'm surprised.
Yeah.
And it's not right. What's in there sometimes.
Oh my God.
Joanne
That's scary.
is a doctor, so she's seen a lot of shit.
I've seen a lot of sexually transmitted diseases.
In geriatrics.
Well, I'm not a geriatrician. I'm a general internist. But I mean, still. Yes. Yeah, I don't even understand how I'm a lesbian still.
Bullshit.
Because
no way.
Because honestly, I would much rather look at diseased peen than diseased
I feel honored.
Yeah, that's scary.
Because you don't know what's in that cave.
Yeah.
You don't. At least you look down at the penis and it's like it's all
Everything's
there. Everything's exposed. There's no mystery. Right. There's nothing. It's right there. You know, it's right there. You gotta get in there. Yeah. You gotta go in with a speculum.
Right.
There's light. You gotta be like close-ish to this
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
You're like a Sherlock Holmes for pussy.
Yeah, you have like the hat and thing on. I mean, it's not right. It's not right what's in there.
Has like
Sometimes
alien shit ever come at you? Like
define alien.
like snakehead comes
Yeah,
out.
there's no snakeheads, but there's a lot of stuff that can be in there,
That's crazy.
And diseased peen is
Do
the
they
way
not
to
know
go.
what's in there? And they're just kind
Do
of
you know what's in there
Disease
right now?
pain is the way to go. That's the line of the
And
day.
then always makes me nervous.
If you're gonna have diseased parts, the peen's the
Diseased
And that
pain.
always like goes through my head. Like I'm like, oh my god, because you don't know until after you get the test back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
It's like
can't
it always
see what's in this,
No. Yeah.
God, I got
birth
an appointment
canal
on
of yours.
Monday.
Great. I should be thinking about this. But it's true. I always think that. Like when I'm, you know what I mean?
Oh
I'm
my
like, oh my
God.
god. You know, it's like until then when you get the test back.
And
You know.
she's drinking again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think that's like, yeah, because like, okay, that's one of the things like why I've never even been with a woman, because I'm like, I'm so scared. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna find or smell, and I'm like, I'm not sure I want to go there. I'll just watch it online.
Oh my god, I had the funniest conversation with one of my sisters. I have two sisters and an older brother, all older. My eldest sister asked me, we were out to dinner, and she's like, okay, I just have a question. Now, I've been out of the closet now for almost 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, are you actually like really attracted to women?
Oh my god.
What?
It's like,
And I was like, I don't
No, this life is just so much easier.
I'm like, I don't understand the question. Like, I was really desperate, and the first person just happened to be a woman. Yeah, and I was like, okay, whatever. No, like, what do you mean? And so this is her justification of this question. She said, well, I can think of it as while you're having sex, right? So think of the sex act. It would probably feel good to be having sex with anyone.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
With any particular gender.
Right.
Great.
Human being.
Human being,
Yes.
you know, so
Connection,
she's
intimacy.
rationalizing to herself, okay, in the moment, I can understand how you're having a good time.
Okay.
But like if a hot girl walks by, do you like look at her and say, oh, she's hot, whatever hot is for you?
Right.
And I say, well, if a hot guy walks by
right.
for you,
Right.
do you look? Of course she said, yeah. And I said, well, if a hot girl goes by, do you look? And she's like, well, no. And I was like,
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's like, so you really look at
Oh
women?
my god.
I'm like, I don't understand. You're like, you're 55 years old. Like, what is wrong with you? Yes. What? I don't get you.
So funny.
No, a lot of people say
It's like
shit
inside.
Like that.
Oh my god. This is
lot
a
of
funny
people
story.
tell
My
shit.
dad.
So I don't think it's the smells that's necessarily just keeping you
No.
away from women.
No.
It's probably
It's-
just
I
not
think women are
something.
It's just
I
well,
think women are
you're
But
not
I think your
attracted to them maybe
juices
in
aren't
that
flowing
way.
for them. You
Like
know
you're
what
not
I mean?
attracted to them
Yeah,
that way.
you're
Like
physically.
Yes.
You're
feel it.
not aroused
Yes.
by them
Like, I
so
have
much.
been-
Maybe not.
Right.
No,
I have
no,
been attracted
I
to
know.
women.
I'm totally like ill. I don't know what that smell's gonna be. I don't want to go there.
But
But
you
in
do
order
know
to
because you
have that
have one.
question-
So I'm sure you
Like, I
know.
don't have that. You know,
It'll
I've
be
never
good.
been like, what the
But
fuck?
because that is something that you think of, then no.
Right.
It's not, you know what I mean?
I
It's,
think
you
women
don't,
are beautiful. I think they're
Right.
that
sexy.
has nothing to do with
No,
it.
it's
Well, I think
about,
women are beautiful, but I don't want to do
Moisture.
anything.
Yes.
Do you attain
Like,
moisture?
I know-
is the point that I'm trying to make.
Then I'm more attracted to men. I know for a fact. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like when
Oh my
you
god,
look
me
at
too.
them-
Oh, that's so nice to have that.
No, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, you know. That's not to say I've never been attracted to a woman, because I have,
Right.
but it was more of, it's
The
not
person.
the person.
It's
Exactly.
like a Kinsey scale thing.
Yes.
Because
Right.
how come when people
We're
watch
obsessed with
porn,
Kinsey.
they were saying like they were doing, remember studies, we talked about
Right.
this before,
Yeah.
where women that were like heterosexual will be attracted
To women as well.
The women and the men. And
Oh,
they're
it's
like,
this
wow.
is a very interesting question. It's the same thing. My wife, she's brilliant and very talented, but one of the things that she does, she's an author, so she writes
Yes.
books.
Yes.
She writes female, so lesbian romance books as well. Which, so the thing about this is, I didn't know anything about romance novels at all.
Right.
Though most romance novels, whether it's male, female, male, are all written or predominantly written by straight women. Did you know that? And they're
No.
predominantly read by straight women.
That's crazy.
Even if it's male.
Even if it's male.
Like Anne Rice, like even, I mean, it's not that
Right.
type, but she
Right.
wrote a lot of like,
Yeah.
homoerotic.
And Anne Rice is a straight
And
white
we're
woman.
like,
But the
it-
scientists
I
up
know,
there
we're
are like,
like,
they're like,
ooh, yeah.
they don't know why
So
that is.
women tend to
Yeah.
like be open-minded.
Yeah,
you know?
like we don't know why
But
that
not
is.
so
Well, I
much
feel like
with
that's
two
like
women.
women's porn more. Like I feel like that's more like porn. It's like emotional porn.
You know,
I think
it's
women
all about
like emotional porn.
I think
like,
straight women like cocks, right? And
Yeah,
so whatever.
Rosa and I are like, nope.
I think straight women like cocks, and if it's 2 cocks, that's fine, and if it's a cock and a vagina, that's fine. But if there's no cocks,
yeah.
you know, I don't really. I'm not so into it if it's no cocks.
And we're like,
So-
oh, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been in the predicament, but like, you know, like I have like girl crushes online on people. Like I love London Andrews. I think she's like the sexiest person ever. Like,
But we're
If
talking
she's in
about
my
moisture and
no,
fantasy.
yes. If London Andrews was in my face right now and she was just like, do me, I would be like, with
Okay.
pleasure.
Okay, well then
See-
you're not like what is it, Kinsey, 0 to
Kinsey,
6?
right.
You're
You're
maybe not a 0. You're not
a little
full
bit
0.
closer
Yeah,
to the
no.
middle. Like you
she's
start to
like-
go a little bit
Yeah.
more
She's
this
like
way.
You're a
Yeah.
something.
She's like super hourglass. She's like huge, like tatas, like little waist, and like huge ass.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that is like
all in
gorgeous.
there.
to me.
Now,
Oh
the thing
yeah,
is,
a
I've
thick
had...
and juicy woman is it to me. I'm sorry. I mean, it is just yeah.
She's
I mean, I need
gorgeous.
someone with a
Yeah, you gotta
Meat.
have
I need a
you
little
gotta,
bit
like,
of meat.
motorboat the butt, you know.
Yeah.
Totally.
yeah.
Well, I have had experiences with women, not, but never gone there because,
Where?
like,
Down
down.
south.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously, like I'm not, even though I like being with a woman closely like that, and we've done like other things, but I personally have never done it myself to
Yeah.
the woman. And like, I don't know, I'm just not into it. You know what I mean?
You
But
know, I
that's
think-
because,
I think that this, for some reason, reminds me of Donald Trump's election. I think of Donald Trump's election.
Oh my god, I almost thought you said erection. Oh my god.
I think
Okay.
the election of Donald Trump, my interpretation of it is it's very misogynist, right? It's an election of we don't want a woman. I don't care who the other person is. It's not.
it could be a
woman.
baboon.
And women, I think, have self-misogyny. Many women hate themselves. Hate
No, I
women.
just am not attracted to doing that.
But that's
But
what
I'm-
I'm
you
saying.
know,
So, like, why not?
Yeah.
So, like, why not is my question. There
I
has to
don't
be
know.
something there that is either
Oh, it's like
repulsive.
I'm not
or
sure. I
something.
just don't think I'm attracted to it. But because I am open, like I like 2 men together.
Right, because
you know?
double cocks. I mean,
Yeah, no, I like 2 men even just watching them. You know what I
Right.
mean? Or
Well, lesbians like 2 men together.
right, everyone
Because
does.
lesbians enjoy 2 men together versus 2 women together if they're actors. Because you can't. I mean, you can with Viagra, but you can't normally fake an erection, right? You see it; it's right there. So maybe it's chemically
Yes.
induced, but it's there. You
But the
can't
thing
see
is,
a
a lot
female.
of
But that's not
But
what
wait,
you're saying. Like
erection.
what
With
she's
those-
saying, you can't understand. You can't ever have an answer to that because you don't know if there is something that's blocked.
But
Right.
wait,
Yeah, no,
these-
this is subconscious. Is
No,
what I'm saying.
but
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying is
that's-
these experiences that I had were with these particular women.
Right.
It can't just be any random.
Right.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
Matter,
So-
but you were attracted to those
To the
particular
women. Yes.
But you just like didn't want to go.
But
down.
something,
I just don't think I'm-
something
yeah.
stopped you from going all the way. And my homework assignment to you would be to figure out what that is. What is that?
Like, and is it something like how they say like if you don't like somebody it's because they carry the same qualities you don't like about yourself?
Yeah.
Or
So
like-
it could
like-
even be something that was indoctrinated. Or,
Yeah,
you
like
know,
ask
or-
yourself, do you like receiving oral sex from a woman from a man? Do you think that's great or not? I don't know. Those are answers for yourself.
God, homework.
Yeah.
Homework.
Dr.
The
Joanne.
doctor is in.
I want to you gotta tell
Five
my
cents.
dad was trying to
But this
explain
is
to
the-
me,
yeah.
speaking of
Your aunt.
my dad,
Oh, your dad.
which was the best thing ever. We were talking about, what was it?
Oh my God, he was talking about-
trans?
Oh.
And so he was talking about what it is and trying to explain it to us.
Yeah.
So why
And
was
he's
your
super
father
Italian.
trying to explain the trans thing
Because
to you?
Well, a lot of my family, there is a lot of like old world,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so my dad's always been the progressive one. My parents have always been the more progressive ones.
So he's like,
they're the
"Ro,"
youngest. Yeah, they're always.
and he's
been,
like,
yeah.
Ro, and this was his explanation.
Yeah.
To me. Ro, let's just say you got a glass.
He's also an engineer. He's totally left brain.
This is a glass, right? We see a glass, but inside, it's a bottle.
That was his explanation.
He is like the Dalai Lama Dama Lama Lemmy.
Yeah, he's like, one day you wake up in the morning, and Matt is my brother. He's like, and you look in the mirror,
And you see Matt.
and you see Matt, but in your head, it's a you.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like,
Your
And
father
it's
seems
like, it's
fucking
so
awesome.
weird.
Has he been on the podcast?
We should have him.
Oh my god!
Look in the
I
mirror.
want to meet
And
him.
you see, he's hilarious.
Yeah, but inside, it's still your brain.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
I was
god,
like-
I love him.
I was like, oh, and it made all sense. You know?
I love
We
him.
were like kids, and we're like, oh.
When you were kids, did you think he was cool?
No, I think we do. No, we knew. I knew that he was
Because
different
my
because I
thing
could
was,
tell.
I
you know.
didn't I
I
wasn't
feel
like
like
those people that
My
were like,
parents always questioned stuff. Like they weren't.
because
you
we
know what I mean?
weren't like, oh,
Yeah,
trans.
followers.
No,
Yeah.
that's what it was. We weren't like, oh, trans people. Like, what? We were kind of like, that's weird. Like, I would think, like, because I'm like kind of empathetic. I'm like, what would it be like for me to just want to become a man? And then my dad's like, well, that probably wouldn't happen to you because you don't have those
the questioning,
things.
yeah.
Right.
And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, these people don't just go like,
I
like, I
wanna
want
be
a
a
nose
man. Yeah.
job. It's not cosmetic.
Right,
It's
right,
something
right,
more.
right,
He's like, I
right.
mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
It would make sense.
Mhm.
You
No, it's the
know?
opposite of cosmetic, really, right?
Yeah.
Right. He's like, so that's why, like, when these kids are saying this to their parents, and their parents are like, he's like, that sucks.
Right,
So-
because nobody understands.
Right, because
Yeah.
people don't understand. But I felt like his explanation nailed it, like,
That's it.
Yeah.
that's it. He's like, you look in the mirror.
Yeah.
He needs to be on
Hey, you-
the Oprah equivalent of whatever it is now.
Yeah.
You know?
And you see that. But inside your brain, it's still you.
It's like
Right.
the douche show.
Yeah, that's his name. Salvatore, but it's
And
I
I was
love
like,
it.
it was like, don't spit.
yeah, totes. That's my cousin's
my
called.
little cousins call my dad Tutu. Because
And
he
they
goes
call it-
off on these rants, and they're like, hashtag totes.
This is Dr. putting Dr. Oz out of business. This is what this guy's doing.
But inside, it's a bottle.
Yeah. And he's like, let me explain it like this. And that's when he said, like, you wake up tomorrow.
He like
Yeah.
grabbed his 7-Up bottle. He was like,
It's a bottle.
So Rosa's got something to share with us. She's gonna talk to us about like something.
okay,
Rosa's
so
entertainment rent.
Right. So there's one thing that I want to say that I just saw right now, and this is not part of the rant.
So this is a
But-
bonus.
We should just make
Bonus
that
material.
that clarification every time. This rant is not part of the rant. We're going to talk about next in the 10 minutes.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
a different rant altogether.
So is Sir Mix-a-Lot?
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Red beans and rice didn't miss her.
He
That's my girl.
is teamed up with 7-Up.
Who's
7
set
Up?
up?
Yeah.
Because it's a mixer.
The drink. Because what? Oh, it's a
It's a
mixer.
7 and 7. I mean, am I the only marketing genius that got this little marriage show?
You're hired.
Once again, I feel like I'm the only one not stoned in the room.
So there's that. And then there's, you know who Ed Sheeran is?
Yeah.
So he hit Justin Bieber in the face with a golf club.
What?
Why?
But this is how it
Jesus.
goes.
But listen,
Like
why?
four.
This
But this
happened.
is how it goes.
Yeah.
Courtney did a heart and he did right. And bone.
It was like, we were in Japan, Sheeran explained. We've been out at a dive bar. He just drank water and I got hammered. Then, when we get to a golf course and he lay on the floor and put a golf club in his mouth and told me to hit his mouth, I was like, fuck, I need to aim properly, and I swung.
My question is,
So what
do you
happened?
think Bieber said hit my mouth and thought it was with a golf club? Or did you think he wanted to give oral sex?
Like a tea bag.
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause look,
Maybe
you know in
what?
films when
That is
someone gets
excellent with
punched,
a tea bag.
I mean, like, you know, gingers are pretty irresistible.
some
Ed
of them.
Sheeran's. Ed Sheeran looks like maybe. Well,
Ed Sheeran is like,
I don't know. Like,
Doughy. Ed Sheeran's a little doughy.
I like, but if
Yeah.
you're ginger, I'd consider it.
even Ed Sheeran? Even Ed Sheeran?
I don't know.
So what
What happened? So what
So he
happened?
said,
Now
you
you got
know
me
in
thinking
films,
of ginger women.
He said,
Good
you know-
Lord.
Ginger men.
he said, you know in films when someone gets
Pause.
punched and you hear the fake sound like
So
a
wait a minute,
clap?
hold on, pause. We got a fellow ginger lover in the house.
I'm all about blondes and gingers.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
like,
I'm all
Rosa
about it.
and I like went off on one of the podcasts about how we did Conan O'Brien's hat. Like
Yeah.
ginger love all the way. Like I found
I
out
think
there's a
Conan
calendar.
O'Brien's
Red Hot 100 gingers.
As long as
I mean,
some
they're
of
all
them
fucking
have
different.
vag and tatas,
I
then we
think
can
they
talk.
had- no.
Well, see, that's not a good thing.
It's a
I
misconnection.
find the woman equivalent to that, but it was really fucking hot.
Oh my god.
So we gotta get back to the Justin
sorry.
Bieber. What happened?
Justin Bieber's mouth.
Okay.
Something.
So you know in films, he said when someone gets punched and you hear that fake sound like a clap, but in real life, when someone gets punched and you hear that dull thud, a bit sickening. I
Hold
heard
on,
it sound
Lisa,
like
come
the
here. Let's
last
do the real
one.
one.
And saw his security guard looking at me. I'd crack Justin Bieber right in the cheek with a gulp.
Oh my god, that is stupid.
That was one of those what the fuck moments.
That was the quote. It was one of what the fuck moments. That was in the quote.
That was in the quote.
Oh.
It was like,
Oh my god.
A
I did
ginger
what
with
any
a heart of
bloke would
gold.
do. Sorted my family out,
Oh.
bought a sports car, and he'd never drive because I look like a tit in it.
Some people liked it.
Yes.
And built a pub in my garden.
Oh.
Okay. I don't understand.
This is English. This is
if
British.
I had too much to drink, but I'm not sure where the
I
twist
spoke
is.
to every dude I know, and I was like, what would you do in the same position? And they went, build a pub.
Wait. About the golf club thing?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't understand what that means.
Ladies and
all
gentlemen
in there.
of the
I'm a little
jury,
drunk, but I'm not really
This is
sure.
all in the quote.
Rosa doesn't even make sense telling a story when she's reading the story. Like I think there's actually an issue here that we could get. We need some speech therapy up in here. I'm not playing. It sounds like she was freestyling this, but she was reading off of the internet. I don't understand, Rosa.
Oh my god. I mean, like, he could have broken his teeth.
Well,
This
rich
is
people are
what you're
bored. Rich
making-
people do stupid shit. They're bored.
You're not concerned about your younger sister's inability to tell a story despite reading it? My God.
Oh
And
man.
on
On that note, we should wrap it up. But it's been wonderful talking to
Yes.
one. Now
Joanne,
before,
thank you so much.
Joanne,
Thank you.
for joining us.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
I think we really should take this moment and why don't you just plug Anne as an
Yes.
author and
Yes.
maybe we
Oh my
can-
God, Anne Elizabeth Terpstra. You can find her at aeterpstra.com and see her pottery, which is gorgeous.
Nice.
And you could read the first 2 chapters of her current work in progress.
Ooh,
Nice.
So-
awesome.
A.E. Terpstra, T-E-R.
TERPSTRA. So it's aeterpstra.com.
Nice. Well, we'll put it up on our.
Thank
Yes.
you so much, you guys. I wasn't even
Yeah.
expecting that.
Absolutely.
She's brilliant.
Absolutely.
I
Oh,
saw her
exciting.
pottery and it was beautiful.
Yeah, she's
So
brilliant.
it was-
She's
yeah.
very patient too, obviously. Very patient.
So thank you so much, and we just miss you so much. I'm so happy you.
Oh,
Yes.
this is a
Yeah,
pleasure.
it's a
Pleasure.
treat for us.
We could have talked for another hour and a half. We
Yeah,
went
we
over a
really
little
did.
bit, but it was
Yeah.
worth it, so it was good.
It was worth
Yeah.
it.
Fuck
We
it.
were in the zone.
Yeah, we were in the zone.
But thank you very much, and we look forward to our next podcast. We've got a couple special guests lined up, and you'll hear about it online. Follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher.
And on pot. I don't know.
Pot?
I don't know.
I'm not sure what that means, but yes. Okay, there's a pod out there. We're on it.
There's a pub in the garden.
We're at the pub in the garden, in Ed Sheeran's ginger garden.
Well, cheers, everybody.
Ciao
Yes.
for now.
If you like what you heard, please share us on Twitter at Bitch Podcast, on Facebook at Lab Podcast Chicago, on Instagram at L.A.B._podcast, or visit our website www.labpodcast.com.